Hi guys, in this lesson we're going to still do interest, simple interest and or compound interest and decay. So we're going to mix all of the different things that you've learned. Remember, you've learned now 3 formulae: simple interest, compound interest, and then you also learned about depreciation or decay, which has got the minus in the formula. So if you want to read through this, it's basically what I said now. You can pause and read through all the things that we're going to do in this lesson. Very important on the next slide is all the different symbols. Now you know by now what they mean, but we're going to still repeat it in nearly every lesson because the more you see it, the more it's instilled in your brain. So let's just quickly see. Simple interest, what is the difference between simple interest and simple decay? Remember, it's the same formula, but for the interest, it's the beginning amount. P is always the beginning amount, and we can write it here as well, the beginning amount. The A is always the end amount. So after a few years, how much interest did you either gain or pay if it's a loan? But for simple decay, if it's depreciation, then it's the scrap value or the book value of the vehicle or whatever at the end. So it's all the end if you look at the A. And then the I and the N automatically is the same. Just remember I, we prefer the decimal format, not the fractiony one. We make too many mistakes with fractions. And N is the number of years. Good. So let's look at an example. Hannah borrows 250,000 Rand. When does she do that? Now, presently, P, present. So that's your P. How much will she be required to pay back in one amount after 5 years? What am I showing? After 5 years at the end, so I do not know. So what are they asking? The end amount, which is A. After 5 years, which is your N. If the interest is charged at 12%, I. But very important, from now on, because we've done now all the formulas, so you'll have to pick which one you're going to use. And if you pick the wrong one, 0 for the whole problem. We don't give marks for steps. Wrong formula, 0 marks. Good. So let's check. Do I have 3 things given? 1, 2, 3. Good. Is there one unknown? Yes. How much interest will she have to pay? So there's 2 questions. What is the A in the end? And then over that time period, how much interest did she pay? So let's just get some space here. So there's everything we need to know. This is the most important part. Simple interest. So I'm going to do my simple interest formula. Everything simple, straightforward on one line. We also call it the straight line interest because it's all on one straight line, simple, all with S's. Straight line, simple interest. Good. We're going to fill in what we have. We have 250,000. We have 1 plus the I is 0.12. The N is 5. And I'm going to click all of that on my calculator. Be very, very careful. If there's so many zeros in a number, it's very easy to either miss one or put one extra. So as I'm clicking it in here, I'm checking if I do have the right amount of zeros. 1 plus 0.12 times 5, because remember bracket means times. Close your bracket, equals, and that gives me 400,000. So that is the amount. What did they ask? How much will she be required to pay back in this 5-year period? So what will she have to pay back? 400,000. And then they ask you, what is the simple interest? Remember, they're not asking you the rate. There is the rate, 12% or 0.12. That is the interest rate. If they just ask the simple interest, they want an amount from you. They want to know, what did you now pay extra? If you borrowed 250,000, but now you have to pay back 400,000. So what is the extra amount? Then you just say 400,000 minus the 250,000 gives me 150. Now that looks like an 8. Writing not. Let's rather do it properly. It looks like an 8. It was actually a 5. 150,000. And always remember to leave a little space when you do thousands. It just makes it easier for the marker to see exactly what your answer is. So that was the first question. The second question, because they ask you, what was the simple interest? This is an amount. It's not the interest rate. So there's 2 different ways they can ask interest. Either the interest rate, which is the I, or if they ask the simple interest itself, they want the amount of money that you paid extra over the 5 years. Good. Example 2. Hannah buys furniture to the value of 20,000 Rand. When does she do that? Now. P. Depreciation. I'm circling it because immediately I must have the minus in my mind. This is now the minus formula. Is calculated at 12% per annum. That is your I. Very important, straight line. Straight line means simple, straight line, simple interest. So it's all on one line. Calculate the value of the furniture at the end of 5 years. Let's quickly tick 1, 2, 3. Calculate the value of the furniture at the end of 5 years. What are they asking you? The end amount, A. So I've got my 3 pieces that is ticked. Let's just do one part of this problem first. Depreciation. So now I need the minus formula. 1 minus IN. How do I know it's IN and not to the power of? Because it's simple interest. So I start filling in my values. 20,000. 1 minus very high interest rate times 5 years. And I'm slotting all of that on my calculator. Can you see I left a little space between the 20 and the 1,000 because it's easier to slot into your calculator now. 20,000. Make sure that the right amount of zeros. 1 minus 0.12 times 5. Close your bracket. Equals 8,000. Let's just see. What does this mean? There was your question. What was this worth in the end? 8,000. What did she start off with? She bought it for 20,000. That makes sense because it's a very high rate of depreciation, 12%. So after those 5 years, it's only worth 8,000 Rand. Good. Now she says, trade the furniture. She wants to trade the furniture in at the end of 5 years. So there's the N again. How much will she have to pay if the inflation rate is 7%? And there's my other piece of information. Let's just tick off 1, 2, 3. So there's my 3 pieces of information, but now let's make very sure what formula I must use. How much will she have to pay if the inflation rate is 7%? What is inflation rate again? It's that percentage that we don't like at all because next year we're going to pay more and more and more. And every year we pay more on the previous year's value. So we need to do a compound formula because it's not just one interest that you work out and it's the same for all the years. Every new year you work out interest on the previous year's balance. So we need the compound formula. And remember, how do we differ between the two? Simple, straightforward, straight line, all on one line is the first formula. Compound is a little bit more complicated compound. That's why it's an exponential equation. The n is now hanging in the air. But other than that, we just do exactly the same thing. So I'm going to put in the amount of money, 20,000. 1 plus the interest rate here is 7%. Now I'm just going to write it here. 7% is 0.07. And if you're not sure, you move your comma 1, 2 spaces. And then you know there must be 2 decimals after the comma. Do not say 0.7. Then you're going to get a wrong answer. 0.07 to the power of 5. And if you click all of that on your calculator, you get 28,051 Rand and 3 cents. It's exactly the same formula. You can actually use your calculator with the previous sum still on your display, and you can just go back with your cursor, and you can change the minus to a plus, and you can change the times 5 to the power of 5, and then you don't have to click the whole formula in if you want to, or you just click in the whole formula. Good, what did they ask? How much will she have to pay in? So, that 28,051 Rand and 3 cents, she's only going to get 8,000 for her furniture at the end. So that is 20,000. Oopsie, what am I doing? Let's just move to the right. 20,051 and 3 cents. that she has to pay in at the end. Good. Still straightforward, but you see the difference is the different formula that we pick. We need to know when to pick which formula. Good. How much of the money that Hannah borrowed must Hannah invest at 8.5%? So let's do that, the I. Compound interest to have at least 20,000 Rand to be able to purchase the new furniture in 5 years. So what is that 20,000 Rand? The end value. Make very sure that you do not mix up the A and the P. P is present now. A is at the end. After how long? 5 years. Just make very sure, compound. So if we go to our empty page, I'm going to write down my compound formula immediately. Before I forget, it's compound. And remember, a little bit more complicated, exponent, compound interest. So now I have the 20,000. I do not have the P. My interest is 0.085. Compound. That's why I have to the power of 5 there. Good. I just want to, again, they said 8.5 is my interest. So how do I know 8.5%? You take your comma and you move it 2 spaces to the left, and that's why it becomes 0.085. Many times when there's already 2 digits, most people just say 0.85 because in their mind they just see 2 digits. It can be 3 or 4 digits. It depends on how fine and in detail they want to do the problem. So make very sure that you have that correctly. But now I want the P all alone. So I don't want that with the P. That is being multiplied to the P. So I need to divide that whole fat thing, 0.85 to the power of 5. And if I do that on my calculator, I'm going to use the fraction button. So I'm going to put the 20,000 on top. I'm going to go down with my cursor, bracket 1 plus 0.085, close the bracket, to the power of, is that x with a little block on top, to the power of 5 equals, and I get P is equal to 13,391. It was actually 908, but remember it's rand and cent, so I need to round off to 2 decimals. Even if it was only 0.9, you need to put the 0 at the end. Remember that there always needs to be 2 decimals in the end. And I think that is all they asked. Let's just see. Yes, how much of the money that Hannah borrowed must she invest? So there's the answer. She must invest 13,300 Rand in order to be able to get the 20,000 Rand after 5 years. So as you see, we've done now different problems. All of them has got an A, a P, an I, and an N. 4 digits. 3 of them will be known, 1 will be unknown. You must just pick the correct formula before you start substituting. Once you've got your formula, it's all done. You must just fill it in. Make sure you click correct on your calculator and you'll have the answers. And then we've got 2 pages. You stop, pause here, and you do it on a clean sheet of paper. And after this, you should really be fine with all the different finance that we've done up to now. Good luck. I'll see you next time.